successful educational product, and you'll be greeted by Jim Marggraff's friendly, welcoming voice as narrator. Touch a picture of Tad, a precocious young frog with the leaf pad stylus, and you'll hear Blake, Jim's 11-year-old son, telling all tales and stories. And not to be outdone, read Lil's Loose Tooth, an interactive phonics story written by Jim about first teeth loss by children Annie and Blake, inspired by Jim's wife Mary Jo, and Play with Lil as she sneezes vowels. Jim was the visionary and co-creator of the leaf pad phenomenon. In less than 5 years, leaf pads have been embraced by more than 15 million families, interacting with more than 40 million books, teaching reading, math, science, history, geography, music, and languages from America to Afghanistan, from Canada to Korea, and Oshkosh to Osaka. Every hour around the world, children and adults using the leaf pad are achieving learning breakthroughs and aspiring with increasing confidence toward personal hopes and dreams. Want to get to know the world better? Pick up an interactive atmosphere globe co-invented by Jim and touch a city, state, or country. Then listen to music and cool facts to expand your appreciation of the world's cultures and peoples. If you've a new baby at home, sit down for a shared moment of reading and discovery and fire up your infant's synapses as you tap the Naked Baby Blues on your Little Touch leaf pad, Jim's most recent award-winning vision, voted 2003 Infant Preschool Toy of the Year. It goes on and on. A serial entrepreneur, Jim was an engineering co-founder of Stratacom, purchased by Cisco in 1996, and a co-founder of Explore Technologies, acquired by Leapfrog in 1998. Jim holds an MS and a BS in computer science and electronic engineering from MIT. His patent portfolio continues to grow as he merges teaching with technology and curricula with content design. Jim is Executive Vice President of Worldwide Content at Leapfrog and is driving the next generation of technology-based learning tools and content with an amazing crew. You guessed it, he lives with his home-focused routine in Lafayette, his wife and children who work and play with him to help make it all possible. Here now, a video of Jim and his sweet family.
Get them and mold them and teach them what we think is important in life.
I'm Blake Marggraff, and I'm 11 years old. My dad will just come home from work and they just like to talk. It's just really nice and relaxing, and it feels really good just to talk with my dad. My dad makes me feel really good when I talk with him.
My name is Annie Marggraff, and my age is 9. I went to the father-daughter dance at my school with him. We had a disco dance. He throws me up in the air since I was alive, and he's really fun to dance with. He swings me under his legs, and that's really fun.
I'm Jim's wife, Mary Jo Marggraff. When you have a relationship like ours, where he's out of the house and I'm in the house much more, I see a lot more of what's going on. And I can feed it over to Jim, who can only give back and support their little fragile egos all the more. And so what I've seen him do is be able to just talk with them about an issue that he knows is there, but he doesn't want to come right out and say it. But he'll kind of hint around it and they talk about it. And then he's there for it.
I also really enjoy it when my dad will just be with me and we'll go out for lunch or something, and then we'll go to Starbucks and just talk about psychology. It's all very fun and interesting, and I like that. He always seems to have lots of time for us, even though he's always working too.
So at that time it was, welcome to the leaf pad learning system. And bye-bye. And the funny thing is I've heard bye-bye come back in a product from China with my voice. This was a knockoff product.
Except when my sister is with him and my sister likes it and giggles. When we're, for instance, on some roller coaster, my dad will be throwing his arms up, and that's really fun. It's fun to see my sister giggle. I like that.
Once a week, MJ brings Blake and Annie into Leapfrog, and they come in for a recording session. And Blake still records his variety of characters, and Annie will as well. So I see them in the office, which means they understand what I do, and they inevitably run and hug me, regardless of what meeting I'm in. So the door, Thursday afternoon, I have to think, okay, what meeting will I be in? Because they're going to come around the corner, and they're going to come into the awesome office and give me a big hug. And so regardless of who's there. So they're beginning to be sensitive to that, but I cherish it.
Okay, Jim, there are many things you contributed to our children, but to many other children as well. And they are doing a lot of good for a lot of people. And it's something for you to be proud of, and I'm very proud of you for doing that.
I love you more than anything I can think of. You and Mom are great, but when I've had a hard day at school, it's just great to see you come home so happy, even though I know your days are hard. Mom tells me your days are hard, but you always come home happy. And I really love that. You always make me feel good and always bring my mood up better. Mom notices that, that when I've had a hard day and I'm getting irritated with Mom, you come home and all of a sudden I have a great time. It makes my entire, the rest of my day, no matter how long it is, I'll fall asleep a lot happier. Since you've come home and you've just made me a lot happier.
The awards presentation to Jim is his son Blake Marggraff, along with his wife and daughter MJ and Annie.
First of all, I would like to say probably the most obvious thing, but one of the most important, and that's that I love my father, and so do my mom and Annie and the rest of my family. There are so many other men who could have been chosen for this very unique and special award, but then there are so many that could not. My dad has worked hard his entire life to help others and make them all happy and better people overall. And this is not just for our family, but he's affected millions of people throughout the world. When I think about that, I just want to go, oh my gosh, that's incredible. So anyway, like I just did. And I have to say, I respect my dad more than anything else in the world, and I think about that. And I don't even think he knows that until tonight. And this is a great chance for me to say it. And that should prove to you that I completely think that my dad deserves this award.
Thank you. As we were listening to Jeff speak a few minutes ago, Jeff complimented his wife, Blake, and whispered over to me, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Mom. So you be sure to thank Mom for setting us all up. Thank you.
Good move.
For everything. I have an email instead of a speech to read. After the filming was done at our house, I wrote an email and sent it to Richard, and he forwarded it on to the Father's Day Council, and they turned around and sent me back an email that asked me if I'd read this tonight. So here goes. Email. I'm going to regret this at work tomorrow. In 1927, Werner Heisenberg's studies of quantum physics prompted a scientific and philosophical dogma that you can't observe a system without changing the system you're observing. Following the filming at our home and the questions Richard asked of my wife and 2 children, I felt as though I had tumbled directly out of Heisenberg's lab. As Richard probed for the essence of what fatherhood meant to me, my reactions were oriented to the role, responsibilities, activities, and fun. Subsequently, I find myself observing my relationship with my family to discover a new dimension of fatherhood. Our contemporary culture has evolved from the 1950s dad as a breadwinner and authoritarian. Today, the role has been imbued with sensitivity, tolerance, and flexibility. As Renaissance dads, we're sharing our role with our spouses, expressing ourselves more openly, and listening with more empathy, all while managing a more challenged balance between the family unit, home, and career. The new dimension to which I alluded may be the most elusive and difficult for a hardworking, committed, patient, guiding, caring, and loving dad to grasp. It's the simple sense of feeling like a great dad, with humility and not hubris, but with pride and pleasure. So here's to all the great dads in the world who can connect their outward spectacular fatherhood with their inward personal contentment with fatherhood to become even better dads. Each and every one is a Father of the Year. Thank you.